Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm at my parents' house right now trying to get this filming done. Anyways, while everybody's sleeping, I decided to get a little bit of filming done. Anyways, this is going to be my last construction video. I'm probably going to do one more of the final product, but most of the stuff after today's video is all going to be mostly cosmetic stuff, little accessory things here, seats and trolling motor and other things I'm going to add, safety items. Anyways, this is just the final construction, the deck, the flooring, and the hydroturf that we put in. So anyways, sit back and enjoy. Alright, so here we go. Working on the electrical box. And the two things that was hard on this boat was running the electrical wires. I'm just not real fond of doing that. And putting down the hydroturf. Here's the electrical box there, the front panel, and then I had went and put the hydroturf on there. Probably the easiest hydroturf on that piece. The other pieces were pretty hard, but you can see how has the recessed panel there that's going to go in that slot. And then we decided to get crazy with the hydroturf and finish that off, and that's what it looks like on the back. And then we put in our electrical panel. You see it's kind of recessed. It's set back a little bit. It's got the on-off switch. It's got the panels for each switch and then the fuse box there. And then we decided to put in the hydroturf for the center area. That one was just as difficult as the other part of the hydroturf. And that's what it looks like together. I do like this pattern. It's a pattern that I got from Tiny Boat Nation. It's their particular special pattern. I like the color, that camo look with a little bit of green and the yellow mixed in. And then we started working on our front deck, and this is my template for the support beams. Not real sure if I was going to go with that. We'll see how that holds up. And I just was kind of showing the support beam template, and this is my other template I had for the front part of it to try and hold it up a little better. It seemed to work pretty good, so I ended up going with that. And then I put some more beams, support beams underneath it to help with that. Took the template off. And then I'm showing my other support beams that I made underneath the front deck. Pretty difficult to figure out how this is going to be supported by all the weight that's going to be on there. And this is the back, just showing you the battery and the gas tank. I'm not a real big fan of that being that close together, but what can you do? So I ended up just saying, hey, I'm just probably going to put the battery in the back, and just went ahead with it and just working on the electrical part of it. Me and electricity and boats, we just really don't do very well together, and I'm not a fan of crimping down wires and crimping down O-rings to batteries. And it was a tough decision to say, hey, I'm going to put the battery in the back of the boat, because I was really considering putting it in the front and just running the wires that way. But it just seemed more simple with the way that the boat was set up and running the wires on the sides and being able to get it to work properly. And making sure the wires stay put. And then we come over to our electrical box, and we had to drill each hole for each wire to run into that fuse box that I had on the front. It wasn't too bad, just kind of worried about the wires rubbing up against the aluminum, causing it to fray a little bit maybe, or causing the protection around the wires to come loose. But all I was doing there was running the wires through and screwing them to the fuse box panel there. So just drilled a few holes for each wire and run it to the fuse box and screw it into the fuse box, and making sure that the stuff works properly as far as that is concerned. Yeah, electricity just not my favorite thing to do on boats. And here we are. Got my template put in, and that's the front deck template. And then we started working on putting the panels in, the 0.09 sheeting, aluminum sheeting to help with the flooring. And that was very interesting. And then there it is on that side. Then we just kept going with it, making sure everything measured up properly, and continued to put each sheet down and cutting it to fit around that storage box. And here we are, we put down a template there, and then we decided to try and get the HydroTurf lined up properly, and just having a little trouble with that because the boat obviously is wide in the middle, and then as it gets toward the nose of the boat, it starts to narrow a little bit. So I had to line it up properly and then cut along that narrow ridge to make sure that it laid down flat and flush and level and even. And here we are for prepping our deck. I did some acetone cleanup, and then along with a little bit of sanding, so the HydroTurf had something to stick to on the back of it, and that it would stick properly to this metal. Just kind of rough the surface up a little bit with the sander. And then we cut out our storage box. That was fairly easy. Just went along the edges of it with a blade, and then we were able to get it even with everything else as far as like the edges. And here we are, just showing you how I cut that. Probably not the best video as far as the best angle, but trying to do the best I can with the equipment I had at the time. And just cutting along that edge and making sure that it lines up properly to line it up and not make it uneven. Just cutting it with a regular safety blade, it actually goes through it pretty easy. The hard part about this HydroTurf was that it probably should have had 2 people doing it, but anyways, that's it. Pretty much installed on both the deck and the electrical box. And then here's the trolling motor mount that I put in. As far as that is concerned, we're going to go ahead and use that. And then there's my accessory rack. It's got a cup holder and a couple of holes for some hooks and a couple of holes for some pliers. That's a big gulp cup, and it fits inside the cup holder just fine. And then there's my storage hatch. So we got to put a handle on that, but that's going to be an accessory added, and just kind of show you the storage as far as underneath there. And there's had to add something to hold rods in. I have lost some rods, a couple of them. One's in the Angelina River, another one's in the Sabine River, and another one's at the bottom of Rayburn. So, but all because I didn't really secure them that well. So I got some rods secured. I do like these rods, they're rod saver, or I'm sorry, I do like this rod storage. It's a rod saver. Just kind of screwed them into the metal. Which actually I used rivets. Anyways, that's all I got today. The next video will be probably just a few accessories and then the finished product. Thanks for watching.